Harrenhal is the largest castle in the Seven Kingdoms, and is currently the seat of House Went in the Riverlands. It sits on the north shore of the God's Eye Lake. The castle's holdings are some of the richest in Westeros, claiming vast tracts of green fertile land which reach as far as the hills of House Woad, near the Crownlands, a town built up around Harrenhal, known as Harren's Town. The castle was originally the seat of House Hor. Before the construction of the castle, the seat of Halleck Hor, king of the Isles and Rivers, was a modest tower house at Fairmarket on the Blue Fork. His son, Harren the Black, built Harrenhal along the God's Eye as a monument to himself, intending it to be the greatest of all the castles in Westeros, and for it to dwarf any other. The construction of Harren's dream took 40 years. Thousands of captives died in the quarries, chained to sledges or labouring on the huge 5 towers. Men froze by winter and were sweltered in the summer. Weirwoods that had stood 3,000 years were cut down to provide rafters and beams. Harren plundered resources from the Riverlands and the I-9s alike to ornament his dream. Upon its completion, Harren boasted his new fortress was impregnable. However, he did not account for Argon the Conqueror and his dragons invading Westeros. On the day Harren finally took up residence, Aegon came ashore at the site that would become King's Landing. The dragons would not obstruct the high walls and the foreboding towers, and they roasted Harren alive in the tallest of the towers, now known as the King's Spire. Harren and all his line perished in the burning of Harrenhal. Due to the extreme heat of Dragonflame, the castle took on a charred and melted appearance. Since Aegon's conquest, the castle has become a white elephant. It's too big to garrison effectively, and too expensive to maintain. Harren allegedly mixed human blood into the mortar for the stonework, so some believe the castle was cursed and haunted. Some claim that tower's a myth, and simply put the curse down to Harren's hubris and the horrors that have occurred within the castle's walls, the early deaths of its many rulers as proof. The curse is thought to prevent any lord from holding Harrenhal indefinitely. Harrenhal is immensely strong. The castle has 5 towers that would make even Winterfell look small. It has an equally monstrous curtain wall. The walls themselves are incredibly thick, and its rooms are built on a scale that would be more comfortable for giants than humans. Harrenhal has the largest chamber in Westeros, larger than the Red Keep's throne room. The Crown chose it as the location for the first Great Council because they did not know how many lords would attend, and wanted a hall for at least 500 lords and their entourages. More than 1,000 came. The castle covers 3 times as much ground as Winterfell, and its buildings are so much larger that they can scarcely be compared. Its stables can house 1,000 horses, its godwoods cover 20 acres, and its kitchens are as large as Winterfell's Great Hall. However, much of Harrenhal has gone far into decay. The Wents currently only use the lower thirds of 2 of the 5 towers, letting the rest go to ruin, and many places in the castle have not been entered in decades. Harrenhal has 5 towers. The Tower of Dread, near the Middle Bailey. The Widow's Tower connects the King's Spire Tower via a stone bridge. Underneath there is a great cell that is used to keep prisoners. Wailing Tower contains storerooms on the ground floor and a cavernous vault beneath. The Tower of Ghosts is near the postern gate and the ruined sept. King's Spire Tower contains the Castellan's chambers. It is connected to the Widow's Tower via a stone bridge. There is also 2 known gates to the castle. The main gate has walls so thick that no less than a dozen murder holes are passed before you can reach the yard on the other side. The east gate is smaller than the main gate and is located near the Tower of Ghosts. Harrenhal has had many lords over its history, often resulting in the ruin of the house. After the death of Harren the Black, Aegon granted the lands to Sir Quentyn Coerys, his master-at-arms on Dragonstone. Lord Gorgon was the second and last of the house to rule Harrenhal. He was the grandson of Quentyn. Gorgon was notorious for his appetite for women and became known as the Guest for his habits of attending every wedding within his domain so that he might take the advantage of the Lord's right to the first night. It is with no surprise that the father of a maid, Lord Gargan Deflowered, opened the sally port for Harren the Red and his band of rebels, and that Gargan was gelded before he died, ending the short-lived house. They were followed by House Harroway, raised the Lords of Harrenhal in the reign of Aenys, the son of Aegon. Following the death of Gargan, Lord Lucas Harroway saw his daughter Alice marry King Maegor, Aegon's second son, who had usurped the throne from his nephews. Alice became one of Maegor's many queens, and Lucas became Hand. Until that is, Maegor the Cruel had them and all their line killed, as Alice had failed to give him an heir, amidst rumours of infidelity. After destroying House Harroway, King Maegor decreed that the strongest of his knights would have the castle, though not all of its lands. 23 knights of his household fought in the blood-soaked streets of Lord Harroway's town for the prize. Sir Walton Towers was the victor, and was granted the seat, though he died soon thereafter of his wounds. His line faltered 2 generations later, with the last Lord Towers dying without heirs. The lands were then granted to Lionel Strong, famed as a warrior but also as a man of great natural gifts, who had earned 6 links in the Maester's chain at the Citadel. He was granted the lands during the long reign of Jaehaerys I. He served as Master of Law, then hand to Viserys I, while his sons became deeply entangled in court and its politics. He and his heir Sir Harren were killed in a fire that broke out in Harrenhal, leaving his youngest son Larys Strong to become Lord of Harrenhal. Larys survived the Dance of Dragons, but not the judgments that came after, ending House Strong. Sir Lucas Lothston, Master at Arms of the Red Keep, was given the seat as a gift from King Aegon III in 151 AC. Newlywed to Philaena Stokeworth, following the scandal of her relations with Prince Aegon, the future Aegon the Unworthy. Lothston soon departed court with his bride. He returned to King's Landing in Aegon's reign, serving as hand for less than a year, before Aegon banished him from court along with his wife and daughter. Their line was ended in madness and chaos when Lady Danella Lothston turned to the black arts during the reign of King Maekar I. Knights in the service of the Lothstons were given Harrenhal as a reward for their service in bringing the Lothstons down. They now hold the seat and became the current lords, House Went. But tragedy has marked them too, like all the other lords that came before them. Harrenhal plays a huge role in the main books, which is beyond the scope of this video, but needless to say the trend of tragedy looks set to continue. But we've only just scratched the surface with this video. There are countless mysteries and theories that surround the castle, from the location near the Isle of Faces, and the idea that Harren built the castle as he knew the long night was coming, that he used blood magic in its construction for that reason. These are all ideas we will explore over the coming weeks. What do you think of Harrenhal? Is it cursed? And what do you think about the theories that are out there? Let me know in the comments.